Well, good morning. It's 6 a.m. It was a pretty big day yesterday. Pretty worn out. But today we've got to go and collect some of our gear. I think our tractor's being delivered today. Holbrook have told us that they can only drop it off at Red Dirt. They wouldn't be able to get their truck in any further. So it's a beautiful morning again at Pineapple Bay. So the first thing that we're going to do is Ray's asked me to go and refuel the harvester from yesterday, so probably head over there and do that first up, and then by that time we should be able to head over to Holbrook Stores, grab our gear. I think I'm going to enjoy living out in this area. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's beautiful and warm all the time. Don't know what it'd be like when it rains. It'd probably be a big slushy mess. So I worked out in the desert at one point, and every time it rained out in the desert, like during raining season and stuff like that, it was just such a mess. Such a slushy mess. You were basically driving sideways all the time. I want to grab these when we go down to the store. Put our plough on one of their trailers, so we should be able to bring the plough back ourselves on the back of the cruiser. But I did hear a tip. Mr. Sealy P was talking about it actually. If you haven't seen Mr. Sealy P, go and check out his stuff. Apparently when you put equipment on trailers, if you put a little piece of timber on them, on top of the pieces of equipment, and then strap them. According to him and one of his users who I think gave him the tip, then it basically allows you to, can't get that piece, it basically allows you to strap down your vehicles. Now, that's one thing that I'd really love to see on Farm Sim, is the ability to be able to strap vehicles to trailers, but unfortunately at this point we still can't do it. Maybe it'll be a feature that they bring out for 21 or something. But it'd be nice. There's so many features. I've been fiddling with cattle and crops, and what's the name of the other one? It's slipped off my real farming or something like that. Just having a fiddle with those, because I've had cattle and crops since its release, and I go back in and check it every now and again. I gotta say, in cattle and crops, it really does feel like you're driving a tractor. It's one of the things that I love about it. I also love the fact that the terrain moves around as well. I don't know whether anybody that's listening to this has checked it out, but I think it has so much potential. I haven't got into any front loader work or anything like that at the moment in it, but because I'm just sort of testing it out, going through the tutorials, and I'm probably going to do a bit of a series on it. It won't be a storage series, but it will be just running through the tutorials, doing bits and pieces. I like the whole idea that you can move cattle around and things like that, so yeah. But both of those games have manipulable, don't know how to pronounce it, manipulable terrain. You're basically deforming terrain, so you get stuck in ruts and stuff like that. Alright, so Redbook apparently have a I should really turn that off. Have a vehicle in their shed for refueling, so check that. Ray told me that it was full of fuel. It didn't seem to be full of fuel, but he told me it was, so I'm just going to trust him. Maybe the gauge isn't working. Not sure. So we'll head back to the field that we were harvesting yesterday and doing a run for. Refuel the harvester and then get to the store and maybe get a little bit of work on our own farm. It's a nice little area. Still does remind me of some of the areas that I four-wheel drove through when I was working in the Pilbara in Western Australia. I wonder whether these areas get a little bit of flow. It looks like they might get a little bit of water flow during wet season, so it'll be interesting to see if it does. There she is. Guessing it's probably going to be my job to cultivate that field and get some seed in. Should be alright. Let's see how we go. Okay. Should really turn that on. Okay. Beautiful. Can't wait to give this harvester a run myself. There we go. It's starting to fill up. That looks about right. Okay, beautiful. Not sure who's coming up to pick that up. Turn that off. And I'll see you back at the farm. Right. Park this baby up and then we'll head off to the store. Plows loaded on the trailer, we'll pick that up. Head that home, probably have another cup of coffee and then hopefully Holbrooks will have the rest of our gear out. We can come and pick that up. Can't wait to give that a spin. Crickets. So lovely out there. Been looking forward to getting some groundwork done in our little area. Not sure, I haven't decided what type of crops that I'd like to plant on there yet. But for the first part, getting the grass off, Ray reckons it'd probably be a good idea if I leased myself a baler and a wrapper. I actually wrap some silage bales. He reckons that I can get a bit of a good price for it, so I might head in that direction, I think. We'll start by getting it cut anyway. So it's been a pretty sad day in our household, in real life here, over the last few days, or the last week. Tuesday night I came home from work. My wife had given Puppy, and Puppy's been with us for 10 years, but I still call her Puppy, had given her a bath 25 minutes before. She'd gone outside to run around. Puppy had, not my wife. And I went out there 25 minutes later after I got home from work and found her lying dead in the backyard on the path. Rushed her to the vets. Wasn't sure whether she was completely dead or not, and I rushed her to the vet, who confirmed that she was. And unfortunately, she'd been bitten by a snake. I assume her to be a brown snake. We live in a very, very small development in the middle of a whole pile of farmland, and across the road from our neighbour over the back, they were baling. Baling some hay that day, so I'm guessing that it pushed the snakes this way, and unfortunately for our little pup, she got bitten. I had a look around, I couldn't find a snake anywhere. I did a good search. I did a good search of the shed, all the places that you would think. I was looking for any signs of a snake that had been injured, but unfortunately couldn't find the snake, so I assume it left the backyard, I'm guessing. But yeah, so it's been a very, 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 very sad few days for us, or week for us. It's one of those things, you have your pet around and they're just there all the time. They're under your feet, and you they just become a massive part of your life. And our old Puppy did. Hoping that it was relatively quick. I think with a brown snake, I think they paralyse animals pretty quick. So I'm hoping it wasn't a slow and painful thing for Puppy. Very, very sad. Oh, farm sim, eh? So how do we do this? I'm guessing that it needs to be kind of somewhere where there's a strap. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Well, I'll be. Should strap that on okay. This one on here. There we go. Okay, Holbrook have been kind enough to lend us this trailer. However, I know that they've got some over here. Really considering the possibility of buying one. It'll probably come in handy because I'm going to have to come down here and purchase some seed pallets when they arrive and stuff. So they've got a few. They've got these Williams trailers, a bit of a variety. Probably not that one, but I'm thinking maybe that tandem. Not sure. Pretty sure that there's a possibility that our tractor would be able to fit on that. Alright, so what I might do is I might get all this strapped up and ready so that they don't have to do it. We can get our tractor and stuff, and I'll be back when I'm done with that. Back to the farm. Get all this organised. Hopefully by that time Holbrooks will have run the rest of the gear up to us, which would be nice. Well, that straps that down really well. What a great tip. Thanks, Mr. Sealy P. Again, check out his videos. Mr. Sealy P plays on a console, I play on a PC obviously. But yeah, great videos, great stories. Nearly missed that. It's looking good still. So what sort of farming does everybody like? I like doing the small stuff. I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing small stuff. I've never really done any really big farms. I did download the Welker Farms map and give that a bit of a go, but kind of only lasted on there for maybe 3 or 4 hours, I think, and it just sort of started getting a little bit boring. So maybe I'm not keyed up to it. It'd be nice to know what type of farming you like. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Let me know what your favourite map has been so far. I remember from 17, the Old Stream Farm was probably one of my more favourite maps. My wife and I do a lot of multiplayer farm sim, so it's always nice. And I think we played, I'm not sure how many hours we played on the Old Stream Farm, but it was a lot of hours. We both had a farm each, which was pretty cool. There's still, I reckon, a lot of things that I really miss about FS17 that haven't really come to fruition in 19. I mean, obviously we're still waiting for a lot of mods and stuff like that to come out, but they're coming out at a pretty steady rate now, so that's pretty cool. But it'd be nice to, I don't know, it just seems to be missing something. I mean, the big thing that I dislike the most, I think, about 19 is, I haven't seen any fog. I'm playing a personal game on an American map, and even on that, with seasons, I still haven't managed to see any, whether that moved, may have done. Still haven't managed to see any fog. The weather, the skies seem really, really plain. I mean, obviously on this map at the moment, then there's no clouds because that's the kind of weather that we're having here. But yeah, rain just doesn't seem. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I definitely got a better sense of weather and of different types of weather in FS17 as opposed to what we're getting here, which is basically, it's just plain. It's just plain. So anyway, I'll leave that there, and hopefully I'll see you when I'll head back up and grab a cup of coffee, actually, I think. And I'll see you when Holbrooks have delivered my stuff to Red Dirt. So I got a call from Holbrooks. They said that their driver was a little bit concerned about getting down this driveway. Just with the low loader. So they've pulled up out the front, they've disconnected, and our gear's ready to take off. They didn't unload it themselves, so we'll head out here. There we go. There they are. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Okay, around the other side. Looking forward to getting stuck into this. It's a nice looking motor. Oh, that'll be patient drivers. Let's see what we can do. To reverse. Let's see if we can get this down. That trailer seems to be moving a little bit. Might disconnect that there. Jams. I don't really see what the problem is. They've got plenty of room there. Let's get this up. There we go. Grab ourselves the cultivator. Keep that on there. Keep that on there. Oh, you're going to get your car scratched, buddy. That's all I can say. There we go. Scratch car. Get this off. Okay. Just duck into this field a little. I don't know where the driver is. Must be down talking to Ray somewhere. Alright, let's get this cultivator into Ray's yard. Oh, not that we're going to be able to. Might just park this up here. I'll go back in and see if I can find the driver. And see if he can move his truck and stuff, get rid of this bit of traffic jam. I'll be back in a sec. There we go, that's a little bit better, I think. Yep, no traffic. Holding anybody up. So it turns out that they can get the low loader into the red dirt yard. It's just that it was extended, so creates a little bit of a problem because of the flexibility in the base of it. Sometimes it bottoms out. Alright, so we'll take this over. Don't want to leave the mower sitting out there for too long by itself, so I might just drop this over at the shed over the back there, I think. Collect it, we don't need it right now anyway. So. It's a beastie sounding tractor, this one. Love it. Push the foot down, it gives it a little bit of a warmth, doesn't it? Alright, so put this over here. Just here will do, I think. We got lower. That's it. Disconnect. Yawning. Don't know why. Let's go get this mower and see what we can do. I'll grab the mower and I'll meet you over the farm and start cutting. Sounds like a plan. See you then. Alright, here we are. Ready to begin our first bit of work on our farm. Okay, what have we got here? Need to Hold that there. And turn it on. There we go. That's it. And lower it down. I think that's down. Here we go. Let's start off with this area first, I think. There we go, yes. Hopefully we've got enough oomph in this tractor to get up this little incline here. I don't think I'll go too close to that. Oh, he doesn't really want to get up, does he? Just push a little bit of an angle here. So Terry at Holbrook did tell me that this tractor had enough oomph to pull this type of mower, so he knows what he's talking about. There we go. She might be doing it slowly, but she's doing it. That's the important thing. It's part of the enjoyment of farming is just sitting out here and doing field work, enjoying the tractor, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the results that you get out of it as well. So I think probably most of us who play Farming Simulator are that way inclined. Go. A lot happier going downhill. Let's cut across here. Hopefully I don't need any of those rocks. There we go. The other things I've always found out about, FS19 is, you know, I understand the engine that it's built on because I've studied that engine as part of my degree and stuff, but the reflection on the window sometimes is just a little bit too much. If you're driving along at night, you've got a car behind you, you know, at times you can't even see out of the bloody windscreen, and that's probably a little bit too much. I mean, if there's some way that they could have toned that down, which there is, that reflection, it probably would have helped a bit. But I think sometimes the sun reflection and the sun glare on the windows as well is probably something that just goes a little bit overboard. And don't get me wrong, I love FS19, I just absolutely love it. I mean, FS17 so far is probably my favourite. Thousands of hours in that between my wife and I. Yeah, and I do love the new engine and stuff. I just wish they could have done a little bit more environment-wise, weather-wise, sky-wise, and there is a lot of potential in this engine for absolutely incredible skyscapes and skyboxes and dynamic weather. So it's a bit of a shame. I don't know, maybe they'll change that. Patches are relatively few and far between at the moment, so but you never know. I mean, there were things that they needed to sort out straight away anyway, so, which they did. They did. I mean, Giants have the monopoly. They really need to look after everybody and make sure that they do the best for for all of their fan base and us people who play this thing. This mower seems to drop down quite a lot and slide. See it sliding to the left? Be a bit of a useless mower, really. Alright, I might talk to Terry about that, raise that up. Drop it down again. Must remember to get that trailer back to the store too. Which is okay because I do have that water cart that I need to pick up that we purchased, so. Alright, well I might continue to mow this and I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so I pretty well got the shits with that John Deere mower. Spoke to Terry on the phone about it, and they bought out this Kubota for us to try out. I've just given it one quick run, and she seems pretty fine. There's none of those dragging problems that we were having with the John Deere mower. So he agreed to basically swap them over. They were both the same price and stuff. So I'm much happier with this after giving it a go. As you can see, she works really well. So what I might do is I will continue to do this mowing and see when it is all done. Okay, so rather than watch you, or make you sit and watch me mowing the rest of the area of land that I own, I'll finish it all off on camera, I think. And I'll see you next episode. We're probably going to have to row this and bale and wrap, hopefully. seems to have been quite a long episode, so hope you've enjoyed it. Look after yourself, look after your puppies. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe. I plan on doing plenty more content, so it'd be great to have you along. Alright, I will see you all in the next episode. Ciao.